I'm Jacob Reeves. I'm a senior tax manager here in our Newport News office, and today we are going to be going over some individual and estate provisions from the One Big Beautiful Bill.
Hi, welcome. My name is Marie Wimmer. I'm a senior tax manager out of the Roanoke office for Brown Edwards. All right, so continuing on, these are some new deductions that were created by OB3. And the next couple of slides were all Trump promises on his campaign trail. He wasn't able to get exactly everything that he wanted, but this is the result. We now have a new deduction for seniors, which is 65 or older, and they can get $6,000 each. They're eligible for the full deduction as long as their gross income is $75,000 single, $175 married filing joint, and then it will be slowly phased out, and you'll be completely phased out once you have $150,000 single, $250,000 married filing joint.
Yep.
It's only permanent. It's only temporary, so it runs 2025 through 2028.
Yeah, and I do find it interesting that a lot of these they're set to expire immediately after Trump would leave office. So they're just kind of kicking the can down the road till the next guy gets there.
Very much on
Yeah.
purpose.
Yeah, and this was very much intended when for Trump promising not to tax Social Security benefits, but unfortunately rules would not allow them to get the law passed with that in there. So this is how they sort of opted to provide that benefit to seniors.
Right, deduction for tips. This is also a new deduction. Again, hotly discussed on the campaign trail. So here we have a deduction for $25,000 per taxpayer, 4 qualified tips received. It's an above-the-line deduction, so you don't have to itemize to take it. It's not included in the qualified business income calculation, but it is. These tips are very specific. Right? They have to be voluntary, non-negotiated, in trades that you would typically have tipping. There are supposed to be more guidelines coming out about this soon. These tips must be reported to you on a W-2 or 1099. And again, a Social Security number is required. And again, it's temporary, running out in 2028.
Yeah, and I think here this is also a trend of the laws we're getting now is they don't give the IRS or the Treasury Department very much runway to actually enact a lot of these things. So the IRS has come out and said for 2025 they are not touching the W-2 form and that it's not going to have this information and they're going to allow employers to just sort of provide it as a statement attached to the W-2 for the taxpayers to include with their return. And we have gotten proposed regs on those occupations. I know there was a lot of talk around restructuring pricing models in a lot of businesses to be eligible for tips. But they have come out and nixed that by saying, no, we're going to give you very specific jobs that count in industries that count. So you shouldn't see those pricing models change as much as we anticipated they might.
Right, and I did want to add here, there are income limits. So you're able to get the total deduction here as long as your total income is $150,000 for single and $300,000 for married filing joint. And again, it'll be phased out completely once you reach $400,000 for individual and $550 for married filing joint. Okay, deduction for overtime is again a new deduction promised by President Trump. This one is $12,500, $25,000 joint for qualified overtime compensation. This one again has dollar income thresholds. They're similar to deduction for tips, but not exactly the same. So you have $150,000 single, 300,000 married filing joint, and you'll get the full deduction. But once you reach 275,000 single, 550,000 married filing joint, you will then be phased out completely for this deduction.
And again, this is something the employer is just going to have to provide to you in addition to your W-2 that you'll have to use for your tax return. So it'll be interesting to see if the information should be available for employers, but it's our providers going to get their systems updated to make that data easily extractable to kind of disseminate and get out there.
Right. This will become interesting coming tax season to see.
Yeah.
Again, Social Security numbers are required, and it's only temporary through 2028.
Yep. I do find it interesting that on this one they specifically said you do have to file a joint tax return to claim the deduction. They're not allowing it on married filing separate for this specific provision.
Oh, that is interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't often see that in the code. Normally it just gets split in half, and this time it goes away.
Continuing on with the new deductions under OB3, we have the new car loan interest deduction. So here we can deduct up to $10,000 of car loan interest for the purchase of a new vehicle. You're eligible for this full deduction as long as your income isn't 100,000 single, 200,000 joint. Once you reach $149,001 for single, you're completely phased out, and $249,001 you are phased out for married filing joint. Of course, there's specifics about what kind of car it can be and how much it weighs. You can see that on the slide there, and you must have a VIN number.